Morning students, I welcome you to this class, to the students of standard 11. Once again, welcome back to the class. We have been studying about political science chapter number 1, constitution, why and how. Do you remember in the first class we have asked two questions: what is constitution and why do we need constitution? In the previous class I have given you the definition of a constitution and also given you the background of Indian constitution, under which situation the Indian constitution was framed by the Constituent Assembly. I have also told you about the influence of other countries that we see in the Indian constitution. Today we are going to answer the second question, that is, why do we need a constitution? That is the most important question when we deal with the constitutions. That is the very much and basic questions that we ask about the constitution. Why do we need a constitution? What's the need of constitution? Can we live without a constitution? If we do not have the constitution, what would be the problems? Can we live peacefully without having a proper constitution? Let's answer all these questions in this class. I'm going to give you the explanation of different reasons why we need a constitution and how a constitution helps the people of a country live peacefully without having any conflict. So these are the reasons which help us to understand why a constitution is so important for a democratic country. There are 5 reasons that we are going to discuss in this class. Why do we need a constitution? The first reason is that constitution is needed because constitution allows coordination and assurance among the people of the country. This is the most important need of a constitution. It allows coordination and assurance. Let's take the example of a vast country like India, where different communities, different religion, different language people lives together. Is it possible for different people to believe each other? Different people may have their different opinion. Different people may wish to have different facilities, different rules. Who will give the security that whether the majority will not dominate over the minority? How can people believe? How can minority peoples believe the majority? That's all questions is being answered by the Constitution. Constitution is the one which unites the people. Who will decide that which rules has to be followed? Who will decide which language is to be the official language of our country? Who will decide whether the majority will rule or it will be the rule of everyone? These all things is being answered by our constitutions. To live peacefully, when different people lives together, there should be some basic rules. There should be some basic rules which all will agree, and this will allow the people to coordinate with each other. This will give assurance that majority is not going to rule over the minority. This will give assurance that the one group of people is not going to take control over the others. This will give assurance that the powerful is not going to rule over the weaker section of the people. For unification of the people to live together with the agreement without conflict, we need some basic rules which will be followed by everyone, which will be agreed by everyone. When people agree to such basic rules, when people agree and follow the same rules, then there is a coordination among the people. Then there is an assurance among the people that they can live without any fear. That is why the Constitution provides some basic rules. Constitution provides some fundamental rules and principles which makes the people of the country to follow. When all the people agree to such fundamental rules, fundamental principles, then there is a coordination among the people. So the first function of Constitution is that it provides a set of basic rules that allow the minimal coordination amongst members of a society. Constitution is needed because it provides some basic rules for each and every society, each and every religion, each and every people living in a country. These rules are basic for all. These rules are same for all, and when all follow in the same path, when all follow the same basic rules and principles, there is a coordination, there is an agreement among the members of the country. So the first function, the most important function of Constitution is to provide a set of basic rules that allow the minimum coordination among the member of society. Moving to the next, the reasons why do we need the Constitution? A specification of decision-making power. The second need of a Constitution, the second purpose of a Constitution is the specification of decision-making power. Now, as we have spoken about the basic rules, the second question comes: who will make these basic rules? Who will make the laws in a country? Who has that power to make the laws? And why should all follow that laws? Some may agree that the rules that they make is better for them. Others may say that their rules are better for them. So who makes these laws? And why the laws made by one group of people be followed by the others? How is it possible for all the people of a country to follow some basic rules and laws and principles? Who will make these laws? Who has the power to make laws? In a monarchical government, the monarch or the kings, the rulers have the power to make the laws. In Soviet Union, a community or a political group has the power to make laws. But when we decide in a democratic country, who has that power to make the laws, which will be basic for everyone, which will be acceptable by everyone? So in democracy, the parliament has the power to make the laws. Parliament of the government has the power to make laws for the country which will be followed by everyone, which will be accepted by everyone. Then the second question comes: who gives this authority to the parliament? Who gives this authority to the parliament to make the laws? Why people follow the laws made by the parliament? The answer is that it is the Constitution, it is the Indian Constitution who has given this authority to the Parliament of India to make laws for the country which will be acceptable by all the people, all religion and all community. So parliament, where people in democracy, when we speak in democracy, it is the people who has the power to make laws. And people, because it is not possible, when we say people have in a democracy, people have the authority or power to make laws, then the question comes: how people can make a laws? Is it possible for people to unite together and agree with each other? As we see in the ancient Greeks, well, all the people used to together, unite together, sit together and make some basic laws and vote on some basic laws. So it was the practice in the ancient Greeks that all the people together sitting and they will have a vote on some laws and deciding together, and they used to make the laws. Is it possible for a large country like India, two people agree on some basic laws sitting together? And therefore people chooses the representatives of the parliament. But the thing is, who gives that authority to the parliament to make laws? The answer is constitution. Constitution which is acceptable by everyone, which is accepted by everyone, that constitution when gives authority, power to the constitution make laws, it is the laws which are applied for everyone and accepted for everyone. So the answer is, the second function of the constitution is to constitute. The constitution is to specify who has to power to make decision in a society. The second function of the constitution is to specify. It gives the specification. It declares who has the power in a country to make the laws. And constitution clearly specifies that it is the government, it is the parliament who has that authority to make laws for the country. Moving to the third number, limitations on the power of government. The third function of the constitution is to make some limitations, to put some limitation on the power of the government. Now the second things, when we have discussed that constitution gives this authority, power to the government or the parliament to make laws, then the second question comes, the problem comes that is the parliament, is the government have the all authority to make any kind of laws? Even if suppose the parliament makes laws which are against the people, against the right of the people, it goes against the will of the people, will it be acceptable? So how does constitution puts limitation on the power of the government? We know that government cannot have all the powers. Government has power but not all the power. Government cannot be dictators. Government cannot be make all the laws which may go against the people of the country. So how does constitution puts limitation on the power of the government? So constitution provides some fundamental rights to the people. Constitution provides some fundamental rights to the people, some freedoms to the people. We have different fundamental rights given by the constitution. That is our rights in a democracy. So that fundamental rights are given by the constitution. By giving some fundamental rights to the people, constitution also gives limitations on the government. How it is done? So whenever the and constitution also gives the guidelines to the government. So whenever government makes any law, whenever the parliament passes any law, the parliament has to keep in mind the basic principles and basic rights of the people, fundamental rights of the people. And therefore whenever government going to make a law, government has to remember that they cannot pass any law which will be against the fundamental rights of the people. Government cannot make any law which will surpass or suppress the fundamental rights of the people. So keeping the fundamental rights of the people, keeping the rights of the people, government has to make the laws. Government can make only those laws which are not against the fundamental rights of the people. So that is this is the third work of the constitution, function of the constitution, to control the government, put a limitations on the power of the government, and therefore government is also under the control of the constitutional laws. government also has to follow the constitutional law. The limitations on the power of the government. The third function of a constitution is to set some limits on what a government can impose on the citizens. The limits are fundamental in the sense that government may never trespass them. As I told you, the fundamental rights of the people cannot be trespassed, cannot be broken by the even the government also. The fourth function of the constitution is aspiration and goals of a society. Fulfills the aspiration and goals of the society. How it is done? So remember, I told you about the directive principles of the state policy. Constitution also gives directive principles to the different states. What does it mean? This means the constitution gives some directive principles to the states so that states may follow. A state has that authority. A state has given the authority and power. State governments has been given the power by the constitution that they can take some steps. They can take some provisions to develop their states, to fulfill the need of the people, to develop the lower caste. So these are the duty of the state governments or different state government. So directive principle, under directive principles, the constitution gives guidelines and provisions to the different states government to take certain steps to fulfill the need of the people, to fulfill the demand of the people, to develop the people and the different societies living in a state. So that's the duty of the government. So aspiration and goal of a society. The fourth function of a constitution is to enable the government to fulfill the aspirations of a society and create a condition for a just society. So whatever government needs to take steps, government has been given this provision, that authority, so that government can take proper steps to fulfill the need of the people, aspiration of the people. Every society, every people have some aspirations, some goals. So government has to think about those aspirations of the people and do necessary steps, take necessary steps to fulfill those aspirations of the people. And then finally we are moving to the fundamental identity of people. Constitution provides fundamental identity to the people. Now how it is done? Constitution provides three fundamental identity of the people. Constitution expresses our political identity, moral identity, and the national identity. These are the fundamental identity expressed by the Constitution. First of all, Constitution expresses our political identity. How it is done? So constitutions provide some basic rules and basic principles for all the people. So when people follow, the people of country, all the people of the country follow the some basic principle, same basic rules, and laws and rules are applied to everyone. All are under the same laws of the Constitution, same principles of the Constitution. So by following the same basic rule, by agreeing to some same basic rule, we get a fundamental political identity, that all people, we follow same rules of the Constitution. We have our own Constitution, we have our own laws, and we are bound by those laws. We are all bound by those laws. So the people of the country, we, though different religion, though different community, though different language, but we are united by same laws of the Constitution, and we are bound by the same laws of the Constitution. Therefore we get a political identity, and we have the same law, we have the same Constitution. So that Constitution gives the fundamental identity, the political identity. Next, for moral identity, Constitution also gives some the principles, basic principles, what to do and what not to do. So there are guidelines for the people, what should we do, what should we not do. So we have some duties, as we have rights, we have some duties also for the country. Constitution also clearly explains that what should we do and what are the things that we should not do, we should not violate. So by giving up some laws and rules which people should follow, it gives a moral identity. it gives us the moral identity, and finally it gives us the national identity. Though we live in a different states, though we live in different places, we have different religion, different community, caste, but then we have one identity, that is we are Indians. Though we have a different states, but then we have a one single citizenship given by the constitution, is we are Indians. So we are Indians, that is our national identity. And though we have a different religion, community and caste, living in different places, but we are united by the single citizenship, that we are Indian. So this also unites the people. It also unites the people by giving one single identity. So these are the function of the constitution. I hope you understood. These are the fundamental and the basic needs of the constitutions. I hope you understood, and please keep on watching these classes, these videos. In the next classes, I am going to explain the why Indian Constitution is so powerful and so authentic, and what makes it so effective. So that's all for today. Thank you very much.